Good morning. We're standing here at the gate in Pueblo Verde. Here is the corner of lot number 1. Basically heading up there. Here's the highway. So basically, all along the road here is lot number 1. I'm just gonna walk on the road and sort of film facing up onto the property. This is the internet box where all of Pueblo Verde's connections come in. There's a little flat area in there. It's actually where a gully sort of comes out, so it wouldn't be a great place to build, but you could garden in there. So we're still looking at lot 1. The whole front has been planted with vetiver grass, one of Tom's favorites to control erosion. You can see it's got this long line of vetiver. Pretty difficult to see up in there because it's still forested. And here, coming further into PV now, is where we've got the 9 concrete pillars that could be used for construction. Right now they've got pieces of wood between them just to sort of store the wood. But obviously that's what I was talking about, could be used as the base for a post and beam structure. And then basically over here we've got a community woodshed that's at the corner. It's actually on lot number 1. And we could work something out. Either this can stay here or be removed. But if it does stay, we'd hope that it stays a community structure. So then you can see across from the building site is lot number 11. And so this whole area is where we've been hoping to put in our community gardens. But so far we've just got a lot of bananas planted along that bump, some fruit trees scattered around, and vetiver growing around. So now, starting back here at the woodshed, you can see there's the construction site. I'm gonna head up around the back property line, basically the divider between lot number 1 and my lot number 2, to give you sort of an idea. It heads on up into the woods. It is steep back here. Here you can see one of the marking poles between lot 1 and lot 2. Down there, well, it's difficult to see, but we're standing basically directly above the pylons for construction. So here we are, higher still. You can see some of the pachote trees here that would make great harvestable lumber to build the house. Here's another one that's on lot 1. So basically, we came from down there along this path right up here, and we're probably at about the highest point on the lot. There's a beautiful little flat spot up here. Obviously it'd be tough to build something all the way up here, but putting in a rancho or something with hammocks would be great. More pachote trees that could be harvested. Continuing on. So when I mentioned that flat spot from the road where the gully comes out, here is that gully. Basically it empties down onto that part of the property. It's not actually a running creek. It would take a lot of rain to get this to run. So we're still walking along the back property line here. To my right is lot number 2, my lot, and then down the hill is all lot number 1. So here's another little flat spot. If there weren't quite so many trees, the view here would be absolutely beautiful, looking out over the valley. And then basically, here we're coming up to the outer fence of Pueblo Verde. Over here we have a neighbor who's got, I think, a 15-hectare farm in total. So from here, this post, all the way down to the road is still lot number 1. It's basically the back edge of the property. And maybe if I can get above the trees, you can see a little bit about like what the view looks like. But so that's the property. So I'm back here at the gully that sort of runs down the part of the property that's closer to the gate, and I'm just going to walk down this way. Sorry for jostling the camera around so much. I'm trying to keep my balance. So here you can get an idea of the other view. Here's the front part of the property with that internet box that I mentioned as we were walking along the road. And there's the gate down there. So I think you could potentially build somewhere up here, maybe. I'm not an expert, but obviously the ideal site is down there where those columns are. There's another huge pachote tree that could be harvested. And finally, to give you an idea of how close the next house is, well, first of all, looking out from here, you've got a very nice just view of lot number 11. Down here, sort of around the hill that comes out right there, is my house. Here are our goats, some ducks, and there's our house, which is currently a pit because it's under construction. Here you can see how we dealt with the steep incline behind our house. So we actually had to cut into this hill a little bit to build. And so essentially we just, you can barely see it now, but there's a retaining wall of recycled concrete that we just stacked up there. and then tons of lines of vetiver grass planted close together to hold up the hill.